Kind of a sacrilegious song to be playing nowadays. Everybody's so sensitive about everything. Welcome back, folks. It's the Ray Lucia program. Glad to have you on board. My special guest host, Steve Aledort. We're talking about mortgages and money and loans and real estate. I want to shift gears a tiny bit because so many people that tune into this program are self-employed, or they own their own companies and stuff like that. And as I think I mentioned to you before, that's one of the few things I'm doing in my semi-retired state is I'm doing some business consulting with business owners, small and large. I mean, mid-size. I don't do large. You know, last time I checked, IBM wasn't hiring me. But some, small and mid-sized companies have. And we do a lot of retirement plan and tax planning and so forth. But I want to talk about real estate for business owners, because having been one, I understand some of the frustrations that we used to have with tax returns and filing and Schedule Cs and all of that stuff. Is there any relief in sight for a small business owner?
Well, I mean, there is. I've mentioned it previously. About 2 weeks ago, we went over some of the new changes going on. There are two major entities that will fund basically conforming loans, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. When we take a loan in, although Fannie and Freddie both have fairly similar guidelines, there are some variances between them which can make one more appealing than another when somebody like me takes a loan in, reviews a borrower's profile and goes, okay, there's a little niche that Fannie will do that's going to fit this borrower, or there's a niche that Freddie will do that will fit this borrower. Now, in the past, Freddie Mac, depending upon your profile, a lot of times would give us an approval with somebody who's self-employed or owns a corporation with just 1 year tax returns. Fannie Mae required 2 years tax returns. So if I'm using 2 years tax returns, I have to do a 2 year average. So advantages to being able to use 1 year. And we can use 1 year now. Fannie Mae is now becoming a little bit more flexible in using 1 year. So the key in being able to use 1 year is that you have been in the same line of business, operating the same business for at least 5 years. Then we've got the opportunity to use 1 year. So let's say, for instance, your 2016 returns and your income on your Schedule C, if you're on just filing the Schedule C on your 1040s, or you're an S Corp, C Corp, or a partnership, if you're showing more income in 2016 than 15, then I can just use that 2016 income for qualifying purposes. That will help you either qualify for the mortgage that you're looking for, or qualify for a higher mortgage if you're looking to purchase. But here's something interesting on the reverse side. If you're self-employed and 2 years are required for your tax returns, if you're showing a 25% decrease in income from the previous year to the current year, there's a fairly good chance that Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac may decline your loan completely, even if you qualify.
Because they think you're going downhill fast.
For the concern that something's going on with the business. So if we're able to use 1 year returns, even if you earn less in 2016 than you did in 15,
interesting.
But you still qualify for the loan, we don't have to bring in the 15 returns, explain why there's a decrease, and boom, we've got a loan available to you.
See, this is why you need a loan financial planner on your team. And the loan financial planner today is playing a lot of key roles, not only in forward mortgages, but you also need to understand how a reverse mortgage can impact you. Those of us that are over the age of 62 have another advantage. Can you talk about how to buy a house with a reverse mortgage?
Well, sure. I mean, it's just, there's a certain amount that you need to put down, and you have to be of retirement age. There'll be projections based on how old you are, and it's a combination of both. If you're married still, both you and your spouse, the projections will go off of the youngest of both of you. And the beauty then of doing the reverse mortgage is you may end up having to put a little bit more down. So let's say you wanted to put 20% down and we need you to put 30% or maybe a little bit more down. The beauty is that now instead of having a house payment of $1,500, $1,800, $2,500 a month, maybe you pull a little bit more from your retirement account to get a larger down payment to not have a mortgage payment at all.
You have zero mortgage payment for the rest of your life.
Correct. So, currently right now, let's assume you've got an investment account and you're pulling $2,000, $3,000 a month in order to survive. You may be able to either cut that down significantly or not have to tap that particular account right now to allow that account to continue to grow. And then the beauty is the fact that you're no longer pulling money from the retirement account and paying taxes, you're utilizing the fact that now you have a reverse mortgage, you're not making any mortgage payments, and you potentially will have a line of credit over a period of time that will continue
increasing
to grow,
every year, yeah.
where you can pull money out and not be taxed on.
I've had this conversation with my wife. She didn't really follow it. So I guess I'm not a very good salesman when it comes to reverse mortgages. But I said, you know what, because we're going to be in the market to buy a house sometime. And I said, one of the things we could do is we could use this reverse mortgage concept and not have any payment in retirement. And that's a really important thing, because anybody that follows the 4% rule, the 5% rule, the 2.8% rule knows that if you want to, take $50,000 out of a retirement account, you divide by 4%, it's a lot of money you got to have stashed away. It's $1.25 million equivalent. But we're paying close to $4,000 a month just rent right now. So if you think about that, that's tantamount to $1.25 million in my retirement account.
Right.
Doing the reverse mortgage. That's pretty awesome.
So where's that $4,000 coming from? It's income that you're generating. It's money that you have or will eventually potentially may need to pull out of retirement
accounts. And it's post-tax money, so it's costing me more than $4,000. It's costing me almost $6,000.
Correct. If you want to net the $4,000 to cover your payment, you've got to pull the $6,000.
Exactly.
So again, the real beauty of a lot of people have thought about the reverse mortgage as a last result. Let me take my retirement accounts. Let me start using that. Let's say I've got some cash accounts that I'm pulling money out of. But let me wait and hold off until the very end in case I need money in using the house. Where maybe the thought may be, if you've got the equity in the house, or you've got the ability to set up, as a retired person in a new purchase, to set up that reverse mortgage and either completely eliminate your payment, create a cash flow, because depending upon the equity, you may be able to also pull money per month. Or let's say you don't need the money, you've eliminated your house payment, which makes things real easy, and you don't have to pull any money from the retirement account, but you've got an equity line building, so in case somewhere down the line you need some money, you tap it from the house. All the money that you're taking from the house is tax-free. You're not paying any taxes on it. So it allows the money that's in your retirement account or in your investment accounts to grow generally at a larger percent base than what you could have a mortgage on minus your tax deductions.
Now, what Steve is talking about, by the way, has been proven academically in numerous studies now. So this isn't just, hyperbole from a mortgage dude. This is the real deal. And I've read from Joe Tomlinson, from Wade Pfau, there have been several studies done on this very subject of utilizing a reverse mortgage line of credit. The day you turn age 62, you ought to, if nothing else, get the reverse mortgage line of credit set up, because it grows and compounds at the rate of interest that you're paying. It could be 5.5% growth in that. And eventually, you have more potential equity coming out of the house than the house may even be worth. And it's not your responsibility. In my case, all of our kids have houses, right? So they're not, one of the reasons why I was okay selling my Ponderosa is because the kids don't want to live in my house anyway.
Exactly.
Right? So it would make sense for us to do something like that and not have to stress over house payments or mortgage payments in retirement. I love that strategy.
Yeah, it really is. And the biggest hurdle is the fact that there have been so many better changes in reverse mortgages. People have the fear, we do a reverse mortgage, then the bank gets the house. That's not the case. Something happens to you, you pass on the home to your heirs. Your heirs have two options. They refinance to a traditional mortgage, or they sell the property. You don't lose the house.
Steve Aledort, loanfinancialplanner.com. loanfinancialplanner.com, 888-563-1070 is his toll-free number. He is the man when it comes to this stuff. Real quick, I want to buy a house for one of my kids. What's the interest rate they're going to pay?
Looking at interest rates on 30-year loans, low 4% range, potentially get into the high threes. You've got 7-year loans right now with great equity. You're looking at in the mid 3% range with minimal cost.
Loanfinancialplanner.com. He handles all kinds of loans, forward and reverse. Steve Aledort. Thank you, Stephen. Take care. Have a great day, buddy.